Greetings everyone, my name is Buck Business. Konnichiwa, I'm Kawaii Critic. And today we're here to review My Little Pony Season 8 Episode 23, Sounds of Silence. And before we can begin this review, I do want to apologize in advance, as just like the last week before, we did not have enough time to actually write any notes. And I have a feeling, based off of the schedules we've been getting for work, that the remaining episodes of the season will probably follow suit in this, more so just getting our thoughts about the episode out without actually ever having notes for them. So that will be the case most likely moving forward. And the last update I will give is that when the season does end, we will do what we did last time and do a overall recap of Season 8, followed up by a wish list for Season 9, since that is already confirmed. And at that point, this channel will go on hiatus. So that is the plan. Anyways, on to the episode. So, this episode does begin with Fluttershy-san and Applejack-san getting called by the map, and Twily-san gives them some exposition on a new type of creature called the Karen. And they turn into this other creature, which names we actually honestly forget, because, again, we don't have the notes for it, and with so much work being in the way, my memory has been just delegated to pushing carts. Anyway, so the two of them head off to a journey far, far away, and they come across an elder pony that warns them that no pony dare cross this area, and kind of goes on for a long bit about just laughing at their expense of them journeying out this far. It gets a bit grating pretty fast. Nonetheless, Applejack goes on ahead, venturing forth, trying to find an entrance. But she eventually realizes that for whatever reason, Fluttershy had been left behind, so we trek far behind, only to see her talking to the animals. So, the beginning of this episode is pretty weak, all things considered. It takes a bit of time to get us into the things that we actually think where this episode actually starts to shine. It takes a bit to get there. So, it does have a bit of a rough start. At any rate, Fluttershy finds a shortcut due to her ability, and they do indeed find the Karen. However, it would appear that the Karen are unable to speak, and for all things intents and purposes, I actually honestly thought the rest of the episode was going to be handled in silence, literally. But that is not the case. Though the majority of the Karen do not speak, there just happened to be one that could speak, which Applejack-san eventually finds when she sort of argues and separates from Fluttershy-san, who stays behind with the other Karen. So she finds this one on the screen here. Apparently her name is Autumn something. Autumn-san? I don't know what her last name was. I actually don't remember her saying her own name the first time, which is weird that Applejack-san knew it later on. I don't know. Again, if it happened, I just don't remember. So, again, apologies. At any rate, she does play a little prank being all quiet as well, but eventually she just breaks out laughing and then decides to talk about the actual situation. As it turns out, via storytelling, it would appear that the Karen have the ability, or, well, I don't know if I would use the word ability, but I don't know what else I would call it, to turn into this dark form with flaming, like a flaming, entity. surrounding them. And this only appears to happen when they are enraged. So they are actually the other creature, although we still don't know the name of them. So, the leader of this group had found a spring which, when going into it, not only took away their voices, but also took away their ability to show emotion. So they lived in silence for however many amount of years or days or whatever. And she goes on to sing about how the Karen never learned to deal with anger in any other way other than just screaming at each other. And it does very loosely did remind me of the movie Lilo and Stitch, in a particular scene where both of the sisters scream into their pillows. And there is a scene that literally has this one almost turn into the second form, run off into a bush and then scream. So it just that little scene did remind me of that vaguely. At any rate, it would appear when Applejack-san returns that Fluttershy-san had a different approach, was able to approximate another story that kind of put a damper on things, at least temporarily. And that rage was the only thing that was turning them into it, and that they had to remain in silence. And yeah, it is a bit weird that would be the outcome that she would arrive to. I don't know, it just seems like, I don't know, like, you put Fluttershy-san down way down there for this episode to work, so I don't know, I guess hooray for Applejack-san for finally getting the upper hand in an episode. It feels like it's been a while anyway, since that's happened. I don't remember the last time it did. So yes, Applejack seems to be the one more in the right in this situation. And as it would turn out, Fluttershy's ability to help out animals earlier in the episode actually had some relevance, as they were able to help her find the ingredients, this particular flower, in order to concoct a cure for the remaining Karen to be able to speak and sing again, in which they do. So they celebrate, and Applejack and Fluttershy also celebrate, and head on home. So this episode, I don't know, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's necessarily good, but it's okay. And considering everything else in Season 8, yeah, I can actually see why a lot of people would consider this really good, all things considered. Considering that most of Season 8, barring a few other episodes, 2 to 3 to be exact still, are actually really good. So I can see why a lot of individuals would say this episode's really good. However, there are quite a few issues here and there that I do think prevent it from being actually truly good. But it is okay, and I do think that's a step lower than being good. But okay, again, is a godsend in Season 8. So that is our review of Sounds of Silence. Stick top! Ting tong tori! And if you enjoyed this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, farewell. Bye-bye!